Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a fun video for you. I am talking about 10 palettes that are great for fall. Of course you can wear them anytime, but you know, these just kind of put you in a fall mood. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. And if you're an oldie but a goodie, welcome on back. My name is Ashley and I have a doctorate in pharmacy and I love makeup, and that's how you get Dr. Ash in her makeup. And I really love eyeshadow. Eyeshadow tends to be my jam. So I was watching YouTube because I watch YouTube and I do YouTube, but at first I'm a YouTube fan, and I was watching my girl Kara's channel, Beauty and the Friends and Yadi's Beauty, and they did a massive collab, so you should check them out. And they were talking about fall palettes, and I was like, I want to talk about fall palettes. I have some great fall palettes, so that's what we are doing today. So I have like my little stack here, and there's a couple more that I can't hold at the same time. And fortunate, I have done looks with all of these palettes on my channel. Yes. I haven't done a video with the palette that I'm wearing today, but it's been around a while, so I can refer you to some videos to watch. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to do no particular order, so I'm just going to like grab whatever's on top right here. And so I guess we're going to kick it off with the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. I mean, when you look at the packaging, it's just screaming fall. It's luscious. It's dark green. It's patent leather. I mean, it's a beautiful palette. And once you open it up, you have 28 great autumny shades. You have greens. You have brass. You have copper. You got gold. You have that orange shades to put in your crease, and then you also have a lot of different murky colors like this deep teal right here and the blues. Okay, like I shouldn't put my finger in the palette while I'm showing it to you guys. Great. Now this palette last year I believe was actually like her Christmas release for 2019, but it is a gorgeous palette, and you can do a lot of neutral looks with this palette, so you don't have to be so intimidating. You can get a lot of use out of it. This formula is so nice. It has like the creamy mattes, and it has the cream to powder formulation, and then the duochromes and high metallic shimmers. Even though a lot of the shades do kind of seem a little bit similar, they all kind of have a role to play, and I really do like the unique and diverse looks you can get with this palette. I think like my only complaint about this palette is this brown could just be a lot deeper because it doesn't quite pair well. It's like you have deep blue, you have deep green, but deep teal, but you don't have a deeper brown. So that's my only complaint with this palette, but other than that, it is a really gorgeous palette. Next up, we have a palette that's kind of like new to my collection, and I just actually did a video on this palette. I was debating up and down whether I was going to get this palette or not, but it is gorgeous. This is the Melt Cosmetics Sheets and Parties palette, and it should be available right now on the Melt site and on Sephora, and I picked it up from Sephora. And this right here is a gorgeous plum burgundy palette, and I really love deep plums and burgundies, and it just puts you in a fall spirit, and the shades are just so great. Now you could get a little bit lighter looks with this particular end of the palette, or you could definitely take it there in deep sultry looks. These shades blend immaculately together. The color scheme of this palette is so rich and vibrant, and it's just definitely a different option for fall other than just the standard regular cranberries. This one, it just definitely just smokes it out just a little bit. So we have this little 6-pan palette by Kaleidos, and I really enjoy their formula. So this is the Futurism Sci-Fi Green. This is Futurism 1, and this has been out for a while, but right here you have these beautiful 6 shades. And it just screams fall. Like, even though I can wear this palette in the spring, but like something about that mustardy tone with these khaki colored greens and this bright goldish olivey green and the black, you could just make some great fall inspired looks. Now, I feel like this palette is just so gorgeous, but you have to be a lover of greens, and I love green shadow. And the formula is just so great. I mean, the metallics are really buttery, they're creamy. You don't have to worry about blending out the mattes. They're really nice and pigmented as well, and they have an outstanding formula. So if you haven't tried Kaleidos, I think that this is a brand that you should definitely try. Plus the packaging. Do you see the packaging? I mean, like, it's super cute. We're not used to like people doing 6-pan palettes in this particular format. So they get an A when it comes to packaging for sure. I mean, you just can't beat it. It's super cute. Next up, you have an all-time fave for me, and this is the Colored Raine Safari Raine palette. I mean, when you look at it, it is just gorgeous. I mean, it's definitely fall inspired. I mean, but it's definitely, when you think about the safari, you think about warm times, so you know you can wear it in summer, but it definitely has some great standout fall shades. Now, the vibrancy of this package probably is going to be a little hard for you to see the colors, but you have these great golden greens in here. You have this bright foiled metallic orange, and then you have the deeper Amazon basin color that's a little bit more pewter and silver and a little bit cool tone. So this bottom row right here is cool tone, and then you got that more olivey roll, and then the more golden and yellow row. So all the shades just go together so well. So when you think about fall, you can't think but when you think about fall, you can't help but to think about Safari Raine. And I mean, I'm sorry, it is kind of like not available anymore, but I'm sorry. But if you have it in your collection, pull it on out. This little guy right here. So this is new to me. This is the Viseart Dark Edit, and this is actually the palette that I'm wearing on my eyes today. And I have been eyeing Viseart palettes, and I decided to pick this up. Actually, it was a gift for my birthday. One of my family members said to me, it was like, oh, you can get an extra gift. And I picked out a few palettes that I had been eyeing from Sephora. So I hadn't even used this, but then I was watching Lynette's channel. She goes by London Makeup Artistry. You should definitely check her out. And she was playing with this palette. I was like, dang, that palette packs a punch. So this is the palette that I'm wearing today. Now I do have this little guy right here from Kaleidos. This is Laser Glazer, and this is the little inner corner highlight that I'm wearing right here in the inner corner. But let me tell you, for I want to say about $39, this is worth it. The shimmers are really, really great. You have a distinct color story, so I decided to go with the more greens and the navies today, but you could do the purples, and if you're looking for like a purple, orangey, golden, coppery look, go to Lynette's channel because she definitely has a tutorial on this palette. But the shadows are amazing. The shimmers down here are amazing. And it's great quality for only $39. I mean, it's still a little bit more on the mid-tone, mid-price point, but I mean, the quality right here, this is great. And I mean, if you're trying to figure out the color scheme, you can just go straight down the rows. It's laid out really, really simple. But I am really enjoying this palette. And I was like, I have been snoozing. So if you haven't tried this little guy and you're looking for something just to kind of add to your collection, I would definitely try this. Now, this is a brand that is new to me when it comes to eyeshadows, and I have created a video with this particular palette, and this is the Sigma Untamed palette. This palette right here, I mean, it is really, really stunning and has all the little tones for fall that we're thinking about. It has your greens, it has some blues, it has purples, it has the brick reds, it has a black, it has kind of like a mauve color story with a lavender color story, and the looks that you can get out of this palette are amazing and endless. Not to mention the quality is so good. I mean, I was just so impressed with the creaminess, the pigmentation of the mattes. They were easy to blend. You could layer the mattes, which is very important. And then the shimmers, they really did pack a punch. And some are more of a shimmer toppery formula, but they still gave such a beautiful iridescent glow to the eyes. So this palette right here, the Sigma Untamed, which is kind of still circulating on the block, it is great. The packaging is really thoughtful. I love how they have the velveteen over the cardboard packaging, and you get one of their brushes that it is dual ended. So I'm really, really digging this palette. And this mustard shade, boho, oh my god, it actually shows up on my skin tone, so I really appreciate that. My favorite Colourpop palettes of all time is the Good Sport palette. This color scheme is so dope. I mean, they really outdid themselves when they thought about this color scheme. I was just like, oh my god, Colourpop, like y'all really, really brought it. I mean, like these greens right here, this particular shade that's called Hooked, it's a kind of like a mossy green, but it's a metallic. And I mean, you just don't usually see like mossy green metallics. You see more of the golden olivey one, like right here, that has a lot more gold in it and more richness. But it is beautiful with this Trophies right here with this grungy, beautiful matte. Then you got the burgundies, you have the pop of orangey brick color to throw in the crease, and then you have this shade called Rooked, which is beautiful. It's like a rose gold with blue reflex in it, and you have your golds and your champagnes and a pop of yellow and a couple of different purples and maroons. I mean, it is like literally the ultimate fall palette. So this was actually the fall palette that released, I want to say, in 2018, yes. So if you did not get your hands on it, if you did not get to get your hands on it, does that even, if you were not able to get your hands on this palette, I'm so sorry. I'm not even sure if it's available anymore. I know it's hung around for quite some time, but this is literally one of the best color stories Colourpop has ever come up with. Following up with another Colourpop palette, we have the fall palette from last year. It's called the Whatever palette. Now, I thought this palette was really beautiful from the beginning, but I was just like, I don't think I need it because, you know, I just be buying palettes all the time. And I was like, I have enough makeup. But then I was like, no, let me just go ahead and get it because I'm going to have FOMO. And I'm so glad I got it. Now, this is a beautiful berry orange, coppery, rose gold palette. But the great thing about it, it just pops so well. So if you're a woman of color or if you're a tan skin tone, I mean, if you're deeper, lighter, fairer, it is just such a palette. Now, Karen Harris did mention this particular palette in her Neutrals palette collection, and I feel like it does fall within the neutrals because, like I said, if you're a woman of color or if you're deep tan skin, it pops. Like, we want a palette that's neutral but pops. It doesn't look ashy on us compared to like light champagnes and things of that nature. So I really do like this palette. The mattes are well played. You have softer berry tones. You have darker berry tones. You have something that's really, really deep so you can smoke it out and make a smoky look. And then you also have the burnt orange. And these copper shades right here, or these metallics right here, are so beautiful. All of these shades. Not Okay is one of my favorite shades. I really love Ditching You. So this is Not Okay. Ditching You. You really know I really love a good, great, orangey, coppery shade. Like, I think I actually enjoy that more than gold shadows. So bronzy, coppery shades. So this one is great, and the formulation and the pigmentation on this is amazing. Now, it does have one pressed glitter, and it does have one Super Shock shadow, which is right here. So I don't mind that. The pressed glitter is cute. It's whatever. I mean, yeah, it's literally like the name of the title of the palette. But, I mean, you know, they had gone through that phase where they were just putting pressed glitters in all their palettes. So it was a little annoying. So if this color was actually a metallic, I would appreciate that a lot more. But overall, this is a fantastic palette. Alright guys, so we're almost there. So we have two more palettes to talk about. So you think about fall, you think about rusty tones, and I pulled out the Melt Cosmetic Rust palette. I mean, this one has just some gorgeous, earthy, brown, rustic tones. I mean, it really lives up to its name of the palette. This particular shade right here, this golden mustardy shade, is beautiful. You can get some very beautiful looks, you can get some everyday looks, and you can get some deep, dark, smoky looks. You know, Melt is always going to give you a great color story, so I feel like this color story is really nice. It's really cohesive, and it just, like, it gets you in the mood. Like, yes, like, this is fall appropriate, even though you can wear it anytime. So, but this release kind of like in the spring, so it was like an odd release, but it is beautiful, no doubt. Last but not least, we have Mothership 6 Midnight Sun, and this one, it has such a unique color story, and it's a little bit more earthy, and I feel like it's just a perfect fall palette. You have this pop of bronze right here, that's 005. So like I said, I love a good coppery bronze, and then you also have these nice earth tone mattes. Like, if this was just a 6-pan palette right here, just disregard these 4 shades, that would be a poppin' 6-pan palette from Pat McGrath. Like, this vermilion, what is that shade? This red shade, I want to say vermilion. This red clay matte shade blends on like butter, followed out with a more gray, smoky, or brown with a neutral, one of the most neutral mattes that Pat McGrath has ever given us. And then this olivey green. It is beautiful. So I really enjoy this palette. And then you have these pops of the cooler tone gold and the bronze and the lavender and this astral shade. So overall, and you know the formula is amazing. So if you haven't thought about this palette, I mean, just think about it. Like, you can just get some great everyday looks about it. People were really not that jazzed. They were like, they like it, but they don't like it. But once you start kind of playing with it, you just go to appreciate this palette so much more. You're like, yeah, this is really, like, great. Because, I mean, literally, you would think nothing. If you just saw these 6 shades, you'd be like, oh, yeah, that's amazing. So I feel like these little pops of the astral shades just really just take the palette to the next level. So these are my 10 palettes that I am digging for fall. Let me know what palettes you are liking down below. Do you have any of these palettes? I'm sure you guys have these palettes. They have been around for a while. And like I said, I have videos on all the palettes except for the Dark Edit palette, because that is new to me. So if you're looking for inspiration, feel free to go jump on back and look at those particular videos, because more than likely, I know I have like 2 to 3 looks on each of the palette. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me a comment down below. Let's chat. Give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And with that being said, you already know what time it is. It is time for the chair dance. So if you don't know why the chair dance started, I must say, when I filmed my very first YouTube video, I was so excited, so elated that I finished the filming process. And I was like, oh my God. I'm in frame and I'm focused for the most part, or in focus for the most part, because the very first time I recorded the video, it was not in focus. I was like, okay, the content's great, but I'm blurry. Wonderful. So I did this little thing like, I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it. I filmed my first video. And so it has just grown and evolved from there. And I love to dance. Look, okay? I'm ready to go out. I'm tired of COVID. I mean, like, it's a couple of clubs open, but I don't really want to go. But I'm ready. I'm ready to be. So that's how the chair dance started. So, a chair dance. A chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. All right, y'all. Bye.